Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Hello, welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. So glad you're hanging out with us today. Kind of a stressful topic, but we hope that it just come alongside of you and help you out a little bit, give you some options when you can feel hopeless. How can borrowers get help if they were defrauded by their college? That's it. That's what we're talking about. Let's get right to it. So if you were defrauded by your college, you might be able to get your financial or federal student loans canceled and previous payments refunded by applying for a borrower defense to repayment discharge. The other thing is, negative credit reports relating to the loans will also be removed from the borrower's credit history, and federal student aid eligibility will be reinstated. As of April 30th, 2021, more than 350,000 borrowers have submitted borrower defense to repayment claims. 40% of processed claims have been approved. That's great news. So what is the borrower defense to repayment? This is a set of regulations that specify when federal education loans in the direct loan program may be discharged because of harmful acts and omissions by the student's college, like a misrepresentation and violations of federal and state law, too. These regulations are authorized by the Higher Education Act of 1965. The regulations depend on whether the loans were first dispersed prior to July 1st, 2017, on or after July 1st, 2017, and before July 1st, 2020, and on or after July 1st, 2020. The current regulations, which were adopted during the Trump administration, narrowed eligibility for the borrower defense to repayment. Take a look at 3 examples. So, misrepresentations must have been made with knowledge of its false, misleading, or deception nature, or with a reckless disregard for the truth. The borrower must have experienced financial harm because of the misrepresentations. Borrower defense to repayment claims must be filed within 3 years of the student's separation from the college. So the Trump administration also adopted a partial relief formula that limited the amount of debt discharged under the borrower defense to repayment. The U.S. Department of Education announced on March 18, 2021, that it was rescinding the partial relief formula and providing full relief to all borrowers with approved borrower defense claims. The Department of Education also said that it intends to issue new regulations for the borrower defense to repayment. Further developments will be announced on the U.S. Department of Education's Borrower Defense Updates page. The IRS has determined that borrower defense to repayment discharges are excluded from income. Borrowers are also not required to repay education tax benefits that were claimed on previous federal income tax returns. Now, let's take a look at the eligibility for a borrower defense to repayment discharge. In case you're in this situation, if you have a federal education loan, might be eligible for a borrower defense to repayment discharge if the loans were borrowed based on misconduct by the student's college. Misconduct includes fraudulent or illegal acts by the college under federal or state law and misrepresentations. Misrepresentations include not just false, erroneous, and misleading statements, but also omissions that make that statement false, erroneous, or misleading. Here are just a couple of examples. Misrepresentations concerning admissions rates or selectivity, college rankings and student admission profiles, provision of false information to college ranking organizations, misrepresentations concerning the qualifications of teachers and the quality of training equipment, misrepresentations concerning graduation rates, employment rates, and earnings after graduation, even false certifications, such as the college signing financial aid documents on behalf of the student, or even mischaracterizing the nature of a loan, like characterizing a loan as a grant. There are more as well. You can see the full list at thecollegeinvestor.com. The title of this podcast, there's an article that goes right along with it. Borrowers can even file a defense to repayment claim if they are eligible for other types of student loan forgiveness. The college is not required to have closed. So now let's move on and take a look at which loans are eligible for a borrower defense to repayment discharge. That's the catch. Only federal education loans in the Direct Loan Program are eligible. Loans made under the Federal Family Education Loan Program, FFELP, and Perkins Loan Program are not eligible, but may be made eligible by including them in a federal direct consolidation loan. Private student loans, nope, not eligible and cannot be made eligible. The borrower defense to repayment discharge is limited to the amount of the federal education loans plus fees and interest, including amounts previously repaid. Out-of-pocket costs are not otherwise eligible. Okay, with all that said, let's take a look at how you can file a borrower defense to repayment claim. You can either file online, we have a link at thecollegeinvestor.com, or you can call the 800 number we have there as well, or completing a 9-page borrower defense to repayment application form too. The completed application form can be sent to borrowerdefense@ed.gov. That's pretty easy, borrowerdefense@ed.gov, or you can mail it to, and we have that address too at the article at thecollegeinvestor.com. Borrowers should attach evidence to support their claim, and the evidence would include copies of advertising and promotional materials from the college or the college's website, email or other correspondence with the college's course catalog, enrollment agreements, registration documents, transcripts, any other proof of enrollment dates. Evidence of misconduct can also include legal action taken against the college by the federal government, including the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and state attorneys general. Beware of organizations that say they'll file a borrower defense claim on your behalf for a fee. Charging an upfront fee for credit repair services, borrower defense counts, is a violation of federal and state laws. While a borrower defense to repayment claim is being reviewed, the borrower may choose to have their loans placed in a forbearance. Any interest that accrues and is unpaid during the forbearance will be capitalized at the end of the forbearance period if the borrower defense to repayment claim is not approved. So keep that in mind if you want to go that route. Borrowers may wish to continue paying interest during the forbearance to prevent the loan balance from increasing, though. If the borrower defense to repayment claim is approved, amounts previously paid on the loan may be refunded. Here are some other options for financial relief. If the college shut down while the student was enrolled or within 180 days of withdrawal, the student may be eligible for a closed school discharge of their student loans if they weren't able to transfer their credits or complete their education at another college. If the college applied for financial aid on the student's behalf or signed the student's name to a master promissory note, MPN, without authorization, the student may be eligible for a false certification discharge of their student loans. You can also qualify for compensation under state tuition recovery funds and surety performance bonds. This may provide compensation for out-of-pocket costs that weren't paid using student loans. Information about these options can be found on the websites of the State Board of Higher Education and the State Attorney General. All other links to all the other stuff we talked about in this article can be found at thecollegeinvestor.com. Just copy and paste the name of the podcast into the search bar and you'll find it. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.